welcome back downstairs. Today we are in our new and improved podcast set. Now, there are obviously some things that are not completely perfect right now, like the lighting. I am still trying to figure out how exactly I want to do this lighting to keep it dark and cozy and match the vibe that I really want to achieve here, but also have good lighting where you can actually see my face. So right now I've got a sunset lamp kind of shining on the bookshelf and a little bit on me, and then I've got a very dim studio light over here which you can actually see the cord for, so please try to ignore that. We're not super professional here, we're just trying to figure it out at the moment, so give me a break. If you can see the cord, pretend you can't, please. And yeah, we've got some cute little fall and Halloween decorations on my shelf here that is newly installed in the last week. Actually, the day after I did last week's podcast, I spent like 4 or 5 hours putting this bookshelf together, which was not very fun because I had to do it by myself. I wouldn't say it wasn't very fun, but it was way more difficult than I was hoping it would be and required a lot more strength than I hoped it would. But I did get it together in the end and made a couple trips to some stores and found some cute little Halloween decorations to fill it up with. I think pretty much all of my fall and Halloween decorations, I think all of them actually are from Target and Walmart. There's not a Five Below around here, unfortunately. And then I also thought about going to Hobby Lobby, but then I was like, Hobby Lobby's probably going to be a little more pricey. And I was trying really hard not to spend a ton of money on seasonal decorations. We've got Miss Butters here with us today. I don't know if you can hear her purring or not, but she's in a happy mood right now, chilling in my lap. So I bet she'll be chilling with us for this episode. And yeah, let's see. Right here, I've got mostly Walmart decorations. I think these are all from Walmart. I've got a couple little pillows that I stuffed in there, patterned pillows. I've got a little ghost man sitting here. He's actually technically a candle holder. But you can't really tell unless you look at the top, so I was like, screw it, I'll just put him in there. Because first I went to Target, and actually all my Target stuff is up there, which you can't see, I'm realizing now. There's one more shelf above what you can see now. Right on this shelf I've got my degree and like my little Big Owl and some books and a few other random things, but on a shelf above that I have a couple decorations from Walmart, and they were all, actually no, those are from Target, these are from Walmart, and the ones from Target, they were all like $3 each, which, go Target. I was pretty surprised by the price of those. I got a couple pumpkin shaped candles and just a couple other tiny little decorations, but I didn't realize how small they were until I got home and put them on the shelf, and they're like 3 to 4 inches tall. All of them are like 3 to 4 inches tall each. So I went back to Walmart and tried to find a few things that were a little bigger, including these little pumpkin guys right here, this little pumpkin and leaf fall formation. Sorry, it's really hard to tap when I'm leaning back like that and got my hand backwards. But yeah, right here I've got some interior design books. You can't really see that well with the lighting in here. See, I've got to figure out the lighting. Right here I've got some of my Billy perfumes. I've got 2 more of them up there on the shelf you can't see. And then on the shelf you can't see right here, I've got a Polaroid camera. I think it's technically a Fujifilm camera. I've got some Silky Gem crystal candies right here, including the dragon one, which is so freaking cool. I do not want to eat it because it looks so freaking cool. Look at that. They sent me a box of some crystal candies to try, including their Halloween collection. So I've got some skulls too. They are on this shelf behind my coffee. I've got a bunch of different crystal candies right there. And then just random little things to fill in the gaps. I've got a plant right there. Then I put these little Halloween fairy lights up, which I actually really, really like. I wish you could see the top of the shelf because there's a, like, haunted house looking thing, but it's got, like, lights on the inside of it that flicker, and it makes it look like the lights are on in the house. But it's tiny. It's like 10 inches tall or something. I think it's actually maybe taller than that because I feel like these shelves are 11 inches tall. At least 11 inches tall. And it doesn't fit in there, so I bet it's a foot tall, actually. And then I've got my coffee, which today I went with... I always feel like I'm hearing things in here. Today I went with a honey lavender latte instead of my typical sweet and salty. Almost every single time that I make a coffee now, like I would say a good 95% of the time, I make the same drink because I like it so much. It's just literally a, like, recipe exactly the same as a sweet and salty from 7 Brew. It's just a copycat. It's the same thing. But yeah, today I went with a honey lavender latte, which is one of my first favorite coffees ever, other than a mocha. I think my first favorite coffee that I really liked was a mocha from Starbucks. Actually, my first coffee that I ever started drinking, which I don't even consider coffee anymore, is the caramel frappuccino from McDonald's. Where my caramel frappuccino from McDonald's fans at? Yeah. Or previous fans. That was my introduction to coffee. I actually used to not like Starbucks. This was when I was in, like, middle school or younger. Maybe even early high school. I used to not like actual coffee at all. I didn't like Starbucks. Like, my tiny little hometown had a Starbucks 20 minutes away. And it was the only Starbucks even close to us. And sometimes my parents or, like, some of my friends I would ride with would want to go by there. And they'd offer to get me something, and I would get, like, a caramel frappuccino from there, trying to get it to taste like McDonald's, or hoping it would taste like McDonald's, and I wouldn't like it because it tasted like coffee. And now, if I had a caramel frappuccino from Starbucks, I would say, oh my god, that does not taste like coffee at all, that tastes like a milkshake. I can't with the milkshake coffees anymore, which I'll give y'all grace if that's what you like to drink, like super, super sugary, loaded up coffees. I can't do it anymore, but I used to, and that used to be the only thing I liked. So yeah, my coffee evolution was like McDonald's, caramel frappuccinos, would get them all the time. Yeah, I think it was when I was in high school, because I swear I remember going through the drive-thru as like when I could drive, so when I was 16, and getting them. And I would get the caramel frappuccino, and then slowly started to like a Java chip frappuccino. Oh my gosh, I just remembered that. A Java chip frappuccino from Starbucks, I think, was one of the first drinks from Starbucks that I ever got that I liked. And it was because one of my actually my best friend in high school would always get it. And she got me to try it, and I would start getting that. So yeah, I would do Java chip frappuccino. And I liked some refreshers from there too. I'm trying to remember, after Java Chip, did I start drinking actual coffee? I know in college I started drinking actual coffee because I started working at a coffee shop when I graduated high school. And there was a frappuccino from there that I really liked that I would drink all the time the summer after high school, after I graduated. And so I think I was still on the frappuccino train then. And then I started trying other drinks from that coffee shop and started liking them. Slowly started getting more into it as I was a barista and could kind of create my own drinks. And then I started getting mochas, iced mochas from Starbucks. And for a couple years, I feel like mochas were like the thing that I always got from Starbucks. And then I tried a honey lavender latte from this other coffee shop I started working at freshman year of college. And I think that's where I really started to get into it more. and started to like less and less sweet coffee. So yeah, I guess I pretty much was a milkshake coffee lover until college. Weird to think about. I completely forgot about the Java chip frappuccino era. I think they took that off the menu. And I don't know why they call it that. Isn't it just a chocolate chip? I don't know. Java chips might be different than chocolate chips. I need to grab my phone. I don't know where it's at. Butters, can I go grab my phone? Will you be mad at me? I know you just laid down. I need to go grab my phone, but you can get back in my lap after. I started recording with no plan once again, as per usual. Sometimes I'll have like a couple things on my mind that I'll be ready to talk about and know that I want to talk about, and then other times I do this where I just have absolutely zero plan and just start recording, and then I end up sitting here for forever trying to figure out what to talk about. Come here, Butters, you can get back in my lap now. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm sorry that I made you get down. Let's see if I wrote anything down previously to talk about on the podcast. Well, I've been paddleboarding more, which has been fun. So, I think I told you guys, I swear I've mentioned it like 4,000 times, but I've talked to a million different people about it, so I can't ever remember if I told you guys or if I told someone like in a face-to-face interaction or what. But just in case I haven't said anything here, which I'm 99.99% sure that I have, I got some paddle boards. We have 3 paddle boards right now. One of them's mine, one of them my boyfriend's, and then one is kind of just an extra one that we got. And the first one we got was actually that extra one. I got it on Facebook Marketplace from this guy that was selling it for very cheap. He was selling this big old paddleboard. It's like a 10.5 foot paddleboard, I think, and also a foam surfboard at the same time for $75 total for the both of them. And he used them for decoration. He said that he didn't know if they were good to go in the water or not. And so I got them from him, and we took them both to a surf shop, a local surf shop, about an hour away. And we're just like, hey, take a look at these. Do you think that you can repair them? How much would it be to repair them? Paddleboard got very lucky. It had very minimal damage. It had a crack in just like the top part of it. And it was also made of wood. It wasn't like a foam top or anything. And they were able to repair it for like $60. So all in all, $75 for the 2 boards. So that paddleboard ended up costing about $37 plus $60 to repair. That's not even $100 for a very, very nice high quality wood paddleboard, 10.5 foot paddleboard. So we got that one, and then while that one was in repair, I found 2 more on Facebook Marketplace that were in perfect condition for $100 each. Actually, I think he had it listed for $250 for the 2 boards, but I asked him if he would do $200. I don't know, it was something above $200, and I asked if he would take $200, and he said yes, because they were moving and trying to get rid of them. So all in all, we got 3 paddle boards for not even $300. 3 really nice, after that one was repaired, perfect condition paddle boards. If you know anything about like boards, about surfboards, paddle boards, anything like that, they are freaking expensive. A good boogie board is $100. Like a good decent size adult boogie board is $100. Or like a skim board. So paddleboards, I actually looked it up. The 2 ones that I got for $100 each were each $600 brand new. So incredible deal on those. They're perfect condition, nothing wrong with them. And then the one we repaired, I don't think I ever looked up how much it was, because the brand that made it no longer exists. It's Get Up Stand Up is the brand, GUSU. Get Up Stand Up paddleboards or something. I'm assuming it was $600 or $700. Are you guys on the 6-7 train, or is that just me? Am I the only one that like actually thinks it's funny still? Because I'm still pretty consumed by the 6-7 thing. I wasn't at first. I didn't get it. And then I realized there's nothing to get. It didn't even really come from anything. People just started saying it, and it became a joke. So yeah, it's funny. 6-7. I say it all the time. My boyfriend is so over it. He's 2 years older than me. And so there will be a lot of moments we have like that where I think something is very funny. And it's usually like the new memes or the new jokes and stuff like 6-7. He doesn't think it's that funny anymore. Sometimes he'll play into it, but yeah, he kind of makes me feel like a little baby, annoying little 12-year-old boy sometimes. 6-7. And now anytime I'm counting or I see it somewhere, I spot it. Like the other day, I was at the DMV and they have their booths labeled for different, literally last week I was talking about being at the DMV. Yeah, well, they have their booths labeled and they're all numbered so that when they call your name, they can say, okay, you go to booth 6, you go to booth 7. And there's a sign in there. And it has both the numbers on it, and it says 6, and then it has an arrow going that way, and then on the bottom it says 7, and it has an arrow going that way to show which booth is which. And I took a picture of it and sent it to my friends. Thought it was funny. 6-7. I'm gonna name this episode 6-7. Just because. What was I talking about? Oh, the paddleboards. But yeah, we've taken the paddleboards out quite a few times. Taken them out in the bay, which has been really nice. The bay is really nice, especially certain areas where the bay isn't that kind of, what is that kind of water called, where it's mixed between fresh water and salt water and it gets all like gross and murky. There's a few bay spots that are like that, and I don't really like going in those areas because you can't see through the water, and I get anxious. I get anxious because it's still technically the ocean, kind of. I mean, there could be marine life in there, and I don't like not being able to see below me. So we've gone to that bay once, and I kind of freaked out a little bit. Didn't like it that much. I got over it eventually, but I'd rather not be in that water where I can't see below me. And then we went to a different bay where we could see straight through. I mean, just crystal clear. Absolutely beautiful. And that has been my favorite spot that we've taken the paddleboards out so far. Also taken them out on the ocean quite a few times, and we've taken them out in a few different conditions. And I will say, I don't ever stand up on mine. I always sit. I'm out there to be relaxed. I'm not out there as like a sport. I'm not trying to like fight against the water and stand up on this board and stand up for as long as I can and fall in a million times and then have to get, I'm not out there for that. I want to go out there and sit on my board and feel the water move around and sit in the sun and listen to the waves and relax. Okay? That's what I'm there for. That's why I like the bay so much. Half the time the ocean will be pretty flat and the surf will be flat and it's not an issue and it's almost like the bay. And then the other half the time, fighting for my life. I will be fighting for my life on that paddleboard. And I've flipped off of it a few times because the waves were so bad, especially the first time I took it out. I flipped off a few times. I actually flipped off once and lost my hat. My dad was also in town that weekend, and this was literally the day that we picked them up. We took them out on the water, and my dad was there. Sorry, don't know what that was. And he got on one and caught a wave with it, and flipped off and lost his Oakley sunglasses. Yeah, so gotta be careful out there. I had to get a different bucket hat that has like a chin strap because I get burnt so easily and I have to wear a hat when I'm out there. Look at her. Are you happy, kitty? You enjoying this? Yeah. But yeah, and then I also, so you know how I told you we got the 2 boards for $75. One of them was that nice wood paddleboard that we got repaired, and we also got a foam top surfboard, which I think I broke the 4th wall in one of my podcast episodes and showed you guys that one. So yeah, I have told you guys about these. Well, it was like a coral kind of pinkish color, and it was not in good condition at all. It had a bunch of like poked holes in the top, like the top of the foam. The back was kind of peeling off. There was pieces of like chunks of styrofoam like dangling off the side when we got it. And when we took that paddleboard to get repaired, we also took that surfboard and asked them if they could repair it, and they said honestly, like, soft tops they're kind of once they're gone, they're gone. There's not really much we can do to repair them. It wouldn't really be worth your money. Like, there would be a lot of things to fix on this, so just use it as a beginner board. Try to learn the basics of surfing on it and use it till kind of its last breath, and then once you have to get rid of it, just get rid of it. So we were like, okay, whatever. So I took it out once when the surf was like basically flat. I mean, there were very, very minimal waves, and tried to learn how to read waves and tried to learn how to sit on the board and whatnot. And I was barely on it that day. That was like over a month ago probably. And then this past weekend, Friday, today's Monday, on Friday, my boyfriend wanted to go out after he got off work, because it was the first like actual good surf day since we moved down here. And when I tell y'all, there were so many people out in the water on their surfboards that day. It was crazy. There were so many freaking people out there. And they were all out by the pier, because apparently the pier is like right by the pier is the best place to catch waves. And so I think he said that day it was 1 to 2 foot waves. So when you're standing on the shore, 1 to 2 foot waves look like nothing. They look like nothing. When you're in the water, they look terrifying. Oh my gosh. So he has a nice surfboard that I've shown once or twice. He bought it brand new a month or so ago. And then I had this crappy little surfboard that I got off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm not too serious about learning to surf. I've never been super crazy interested in it. I think it would be really cool to know how. So I'm completely open to learning, but I don't have like a passion for it. I'm not like super, super, super excited about it. And I don't know why I said all that. Where was I going with that? Anyways, we get out there, and the water's dark. It's like low-key, like stormy outside. It's very cloudy, like a scary looking day. And the ocean looked terrifying. I mean, it was literally 1 to 2 foot waves or swells or whatever. I think it's 1 to 2 foot waves. There's a difference between swells and waves, and I don't know what it is. He always says, oh, this 5 foot swells and 1 to 2 foot wave. It means nothing to me. So I think he said it was 1 to 2 foot waves. And I got in that water, y'all, and I was terrified. I was fighting for my freaking life out there. It was a single red flag, if that tells you anything. It wasn't a double red flag. It was a single red flag. Literally the smallest waves you can possibly surf on. I was literally terrified. I was like hyperventilating the whole time. I kept like getting smacked in the face by these waves and pushed around. I could barely move. Paddling was exhausting. Nobody talks about how freaking exhausting it is to surf. Paddling out there is exhausting. And then like fighting the waves the whole time you have to be like, your head is on a swivel. You are locked in. Got a radar, like looking around, always, 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 always aware. You cannot just be chilling out there if you're a beginner. I'm sure once you're proficient in surf, I'm sure once you are a more proficient surfer, things like that change, especially for 1 to 2 foot waves. But for me out there, the whole time I was like trying to figure out, like looking at the waves, trying to figure out if I needed to paddle toward them or paddle away from them or I couldn't dive under them because this board is a soft top. It's like 9 feet long, 8 or 9 feet long. I weigh 110, 115 pounds. And I could not for the life of me push this board down under a wave. I couldn't dive under them. So I had to go over them every time. And I was trying really hard not to get caught in the breaks. I didn't even try to surf. The whole time I was out there, I literally was just trying not to get knocked over and drowned by the waves the entire time. And I got hit by one big wave. I was out there for probably 10-15 minutes. It felt like an hour. I was out there for probably 10-15 minutes. And I got hit by one big wave, and my board crumbled. My board freaking crumbled, dude. Literally crumbled. So I took it in, and the underneath part of it, like the bottom part of it where the laminate is, completely peeled back. And all of the styrofoam was, exposed on the bottom. And chunks of styrofoam were floating in the ocean. And I was struggling to get this board back up to the shore. There were a ton of people on the beach for some reason on this nasty, gloomy day. And I'm like looking like an idiot. There's 4 million people out surfing, like actually doing a good job, watching me carry my broken board with the laminate peeling back and dragging behind me up onto the shore. I was tripping over the leash the whole time. Oh my gosh, y'all. It was horrible. So no more surfing for me, at least for now, because I don't have a board. And I really don't have any interest in going and spending money on another one, because I was terrified out there. I literally thought I was going to drown or get like bit by a shark because I could not see through the water. But yeah, that's a board update for y'all. Also, of course, I need to talk about Halloween. Hello. Didn't even write it down, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to be for Halloween, okay? Why do I feel like I talked about it in one of my YouTube videos, in one of my like actual like ASMR videos. I briefly talked about what I was thinking about doing for Halloween. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to talk about it now. I have gone through a few different Halloween costume ideas, and I don't know what I'm doing for Halloween yet. I don't know if I'm going to be just handing out candy, or if there's some kind of event that I'm going to find to go to, or if maybe I'll go up to Tuscaloosa to be with some of my friends that are still in college there. I'm not quite sure exactly what I want to do yet, but I want to do something. I want to dress up, obviously. Dressing up for Halloween is one of my favorite things ever. I don't know why I've always loved it so much, but I really do. I love dressing up in costumes. So I've bounced back and forth between a few different ideas this year. My first idea was that I wanted to do a Monster High doll, and I feel like that would be fun, but did I talk about this on the last podcast? I've talked about this before, but I feel like it was just in that YouTube video I did. I'm going to talk about it anyways. I thought I wanted to be a Monster High doll, and then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, I'm going to have to do a lot of work for that. Like that would require like painting my skin and wearing a wig, and those are kind of like the lines that I draw for Halloween. 2 years ago, I was Rick from Rick and Morty, and I spray painted, there's like this hair spray that you can use that colors your hair, and I spray colored my hair blue for Rick, and did not enjoy it very much. It was a very terrible feeling, because I didn't want to wear a wig. Like, I'm telling you, I will not wear a dang wig. They always look bad, they're always annoying, always a hassle. Like, it's just not worth it to me. Maybe I'm just not good at wearing wigs. I don't know. Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? I think of that every single time that I think about wigs, just by the way. What was I saying? Oh, Monster Idol, kind of strayed away from that idea. Then I started thinking, actually, I really, really, really thought that I wanted to be Princess Peach. Like, I had gone so far as to make an entire Shein cart, because I thought I was going to be Princess Peach. Oh, that's my shadow. I was like, what is moving back there? I really thought I was going to do Princess Peach. Did a lot of, like, looking into it. Like, spent, like, 3 hours probably one day. Last Sunday. Yeah, last Sunday. I spent 3 hours looking online for stuff to be Princess Peach. And then, what was I going to do after that? Oh, and then that same day, that same Sunday, like an hour later, I saw someone doing a siren. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like, I thought about doing a mermaid a little bit at one point, but then I was like, no, I don't want to be a mermaid. Everyone is always a mermaid. Like, And then I was like, well, mermaid would be cool. Like, I just moved to the beach, especially if I stay here and do something. Like, oh, I'll be a mermaid. And I was like, well, no, everyone's gonna be a mermaid down here. And I just don't really have that much interest in it. But the siren idea, I was like, that's kind of a little bit different and a little more Halloween themed. Like, I could go somewhere with that. So I started thinking about doing the siren thing, looked into a few pieces online, tried to start putting them together. Because one thing about me, I will not do like a pre-made costume. I don't like the pre-made costumes. One year I did do a pre-made costume, and it was 3 years ago. My sophomore year of college, right? Yeah. 3 years ago. Was that 3 years ago? It was. Oh, sorry. 3 years ago. Oh my gosh, I've been dripping water on her head from my coffee. I'm sorry. Butters. I was, what's her name from Spider-Man? Did I talk about this last week? I'm getting like crazy deja vu. I don't know, y'all. If I'm saying this for the second time, I apologize. I apologize, because I cannot remember for the life of me if I've talked about this already. 3 years ago, I was Gwen from that animated Spider-Man movie. The comic one. I can't remember what. Into the Spider-Verse. I was her, because I had short hair at the time. And I just bought like a onesie from Amazon. Oh, you know what? Last year, I guess I technically did do a pre-made costume last year, because I waited until literally like the day before Halloween to get something, because I couldn't decide what I was going to do. And I went to Spirit Halloween and got a cow onesie. And I was a cow last year. So I guess that technically counts. But that was because I put it off to the last minute and didn't have anything to wear and needed something last minute. Anyways, I don't like pre-made costumes, especially for like a character, which characters are my favorite thing to dress up as on Halloween. I feel like that's the best direction to go. I feel like it's the most fun, and you get the most out of Halloween dressing up like a character and getting to act like a character. So Rick was really fun. I actually really, really enjoyed doing Rick. That year I spent Halloween in Boston, which was a lot of fun. And then the year before that I was also in Boston when I was the Spider Girl. And then last year I was the cow, and I was in Tuscaloosa. This year, I think I decided a few days ago that I'm going to go with Puss in Boots. Now, I get really picky with my Halloween costumes, because I don't want to dress up as something that everyone else is going to be and that has been done a million times. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Every Halloween costume you just mentioned has been done a million times, and everyone has dressed up as. And I feel like that is just honestly the sad reality of Halloween. Like, if you want to be something that people are going to recognize, which I do. I want to be something that people are going to recognize. I don't want to show up in a costume as... What's a good movie I like that no one freaking knows about? I don't know. As a character that I really like, that I could pull off really well, but nobody is going to know what I am, because the character is just not big enough, you know? So I feel like out of my options to be a character that's recognizable, something that I can do pretty easily, something that I'm going to look decent in, which I'm not trying to be like crazy, like gross, you know, like inappropriate. That's not my vibe for Halloween. I literally wore a cow onesie last year. I like to be something kind of funny that like plays off of my personality, but is also fun and recognizable. And I feel like Puss in Boots just kind of does all of that, because he's such a funny, sarcastic character. I also love the idea of girls dressing up as guy characters. I think those are always funny. Even though Puss in Boots is a cat, it kind of makes it different. But you know what I mean. Yeah, I just feel like all of it together. And the costumes I've seen for him, I mean, they people are going to know who you are rolling up in that costume. And I don't know. I just like it. I just feel like it. I feel like the main reason I like it is because of the character that I would get to play as Puss in Boots. Less what I would look like, but more that I would get to be the funny, sarcastic cat with a sword and like pirate outfit on, you know? I don't know. One of my least favorite costumes to do, or like types of costumes, is just like dressing up like a pirate, or dressing up like a bartender, or dressing up a bartender. How would you even do that? Dressing up like a flight attendant, or dressing up like a sailor, or, you know, like, I don't know what that would be considered, but I don't want to dress up like a firefighter. I want to be a character. I want to be a specific character. Last year, I just got screwed over because I waited too late. And I had to do the cow, which I ended up having fun with that, but it's definitely not my first choice. Like, if I had gotten to choose way earlier, I would have never chosen that. I think I ended up going with that because it was last minute, and I was choosing between a cow and something else. I can't remember what the other one was I was trying to choose between. And my boyfriend, we wanted to do a couple's costume, but he only had stuff to be a cowboy. He dresses up as a cowboy almost every single year, which I think is funny because he kind of is just a cowboy in real life. He worked at a ranch for like years. Or no, it was like a year. He worked at a ranch. I feel like this is the most boring episode ever. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I have it and sometimes I just don't. And today I just feel like I don't. Oh. We got the light put up too. I don't think I got to show you that I don't think it was up last week. No, it wasn't, because I didn't have the bookshelf up either. I put this up by myself. I put all of this together by myself, y'all. By myself, home alone. Put it together. Now, I'm going to turn it on for a second. And just, you know, prepare your eyes, because this is the reason I don't have it on right now. You see how bright it is in the camera? I need to see if I can replace the light bulb to a dimmable one, because it's so pretty. I love having it on, but you can tell, like, I turn it on and I just get completely flushed out. And this is like burning your eyes. But it casts such a pretty light on the bookshelf, and the sconce itself is so beautiful. It's this like glass. I better be careful because I did hang this myself, and I'm not 100% confident in my hanging skills. I actually put the anchors in the wrong spot, and once you put anchors in the wall, there's no turning back. And oh, look at my shadow. That's freaky. What was I talking about? Oh, this was my first time ever putting anchors in the wall. Had never done that before. My first time ever. I don't really hang things myself. I usually will get a guy to do it for me, my dad or my grandpa or my boyfriend. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. I can hang this wall sconce by myself. I don't have to wait for him. And then I put the anchors in the wrong spot. It took me forever to get those anchors in the wall too. I had to figure out how to use the drill and change the bits on it. This whole thing, it took forever. But I finally did it, and I ended up getting it to work out just fine. I really do want to try to find a different light bulb though, so that I can turn it on during my podcast. But let me know what you think of the setup, guys. I'm actually very proud of it. I've got to keep, I'm going to keep trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with this bookshelf, figuring out what I want to do with the lighting and the camera. But I really, really, really want to hear your feedback on the camera position. Like, should I move the camera closer? I don't think I should move it back any further because it's pretty far back already. But I would love to see more of the bookshelf, but I just feel like if I move the camera back too far, it's going to feel like I'm talking to you on the other side of the room, which I literally will be. The camera will be on the other side of the room. Yeah, I've got to figure out this lighting situation a little better. Maybe get a ring light. I used to have a ring light, and then it broke, and I stopped using it, and I got these studio lights. which I really like these studio lights. I actually have two, but I only set up one of them because I didn't want it to be too bright over here. I wanted you to still be able to see the orange glow of the bookshelf, but I don't know, I just can't get it quite right. And then the plug-in situation is weird because this has a USB. Why are they doing that, by the way, with all of these like appliances, or not appliances, but like these things and all of the like lights and things that I've received recently from Amazon? They don't have plugs on them that go into the wall. They only have USB. Like this cord, it doesn't have a plug that goes into the wall. It is USB. And so I have to find somewhere to freaking plug it into somewhere with a USB. So I have this little table over here that plugs into the wall. Am I making any sense at all? Am I making any sense right now? Nobody knows what you're talking about. You are making literally no sense. Anyways, let's see, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Just very quickly, I want to ask you guys if it would be worth it for me to make a PO, or to open a PO box. I don't know if people still do that, but I know when I used to do live streams pretty often, I would get asked, oh my gosh, I have dropped water all over you, kitty. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. When I used to do live streams more often, people would ask me to open a PO box pretty frequently. And I never did because I was moving around so much, but now I'm kind of settled in one area for probably hopefully the next like while. And so I think I might open a PO box. I don't know how much it costs. I'm assuming it's not free. Nothing is free anymore. So would it be worth it for me to do so? Let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I would love for you to, be able to send letters, or if you have a little business and you want to send me some of your stuff and show it in a video, or just have it, I would be open to the idea of that. If there's anything that you guys would want to, I know that like I have some friends from TikTok, friends meaning followers, friends. I feel like it's friends more than followers, especially people that have watched my live streams a lot that have said they wanted me to send some packages, or wanted to send me some packages from like the country that they're from. I know a lot of you, at least a lot of the people that watched my live streams, are from different countries, not from the United States. And Mamba's one of my live stream viewers and longtime friends and supporters here, has expressed interest in sending a little package from, I think he said from the UK, somewhere in Europe. I think he's from UK. Sending a little package with like candies and things from over there. So yeah, if you guys would be interested in it, I can definitely look into it and maybe get that done soon. I also would like to mention that I am going to very soon be putting my YouTube videos also on Spotify, including the podcasts. Now, it does get a little sticky and difficult because I've got to figure out if I can get any of my past videos uploaded to Spotify, because I don't have them downloaded anywhere anymore. And I don't have YouTube Premium, so I'd probably have to get YouTube Premium to be able to download all of my previous podcast episodes and other YouTube videos to upload over to my Spotify. But if I can do that, I definitely will. But going forward, these podcast episodes and my future YouTube videos will be getting uploaded to Spotify as well as YouTube. And I'm pretty sure for Spotify Premium users, if you have Spotify Premium, you won't have ads if you watch on Spotify. So just putting that out there. They will have video. Spotify has recently, I don't know how recently, but I know that they now have a feature where you can upload videos. It's basically like YouTube, to be able to upload the same as YouTube. So it won't just be audio, it'll be audio and video. Literally the same thing that you're seeing right now, just on Spotify. And possibly with no ads if you have Spotify Premium. So be on the lookout for that. My username on Spotify, or my name on Spotify, will be the same as my YouTube, HALLOWEENN ASMR. And once I get that going, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. If you like crystal candies, I know I talked about the Silky Gems crystal candies. They did give me a code to give you guys, so check them out. It's Silky Gems is the brand, and if you use my code KEA10, you'll get 10% off. And I would recommend getting, they're on the top shelf. Wait, no, they're not. They're right here. I would recommend, if you like sour candies, which I don't like super sour stuff. Like, I don't like Warheads, but I do like kind of sour stuff. Like, I always like to eat the extreme sour straws, sour punch straws. I always liked those growing up. And then I also like the extremes, the rainbow ones. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're just called extremes. But these are called Sizzle Bites Extreme Sour Candy. And most of these crystal candies, I will say, are pretty pricey on Silky Gems website. But this whole canister of them is only $9, I think, on their website. And then if you use the code to get 10% off, you'll get about $1 off. So less than $10 to get this. And then they have Halloween ones. They have like the ones filled with jam. They have all the different ones. So yeah, go look into it. They're actually pretty good. I tried them for the first time this past week because they sent me that box. And yeah, again, my code is KEA10 to get 10% off. Look out for videos and episodes on Spotify. I think that's it. Please give me your feedback on the setup. Please, good or bad. I am so open to criticism. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, okay? All right, love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to grow my Spotify as quickly as I can. It should really help me out, and I'm really excited to get that started because I know people have asked for that. I think on Spotify you can also listen just audio and like turn your phone off. So yeah, it's a great alternative if you don't have YouTube Premium, which I don't. I don't think YouTube Premium is worth it for me, and I understand why a lot of people don't have it, but I do have Spotify Premium. So anyways, I'm rambling. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening on YouTube or on Spotify, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye, everyone.